Welcome to today's webinar presented by Supercoder.com. Supercoder.com is an online coding solution offering Part A and B coding reference tools, resources, and not more than 30 specialty coding and compliance newsletters from the Coding Institute in one site. I hope you enjoy this short session.
We can say so far that this process, which has been accelerated, looks to be done in a way so that it's going to be completed before any decisions like that are made, and therefore most likely this program is going to be safe for the next 3 years at least, or three years plus, presuming that there are contracts put in place that will cover that period of time. So those that want to get involved, I don't think should necessarily not go forward just because of those kinds of reasons. So what we'll talk about today are these developments and kind of give, again, an overview of how to become an ACO, what an ACO has to do, and then take your questions at the end of our discussion. Hopefully you have in front of you our handouts, and we'll try to follow those handouts and actually identify any changes or information that might not be on them. Moving on to slide 2, just gives a little more background on us and our firm. Beyond what you already heard, we do focus exclusively in healthcare regulatory and business law, and all of that background comes into play in trying to understand what it means to be an accountable care organization, how to put them together, and how to apply. Because really, when you're looking at this, there's not only requirements that have to be met to even get started. There are also requirements that are going to be interpreted by CMS when they look at applications, and often there needs to be a kind of a legal understanding of what those provisions mean, and then being able to communicate that with the department. So it's really a kind of at least a 2-level understanding of the law, which is, how do you have to organize yourself and operate to be compliant, and then how are you going to communicate your compliance in a way that's consistent with the law and the rule to CMS. Moving on to slide 3, it gives a little more on our agenda for today. We're going to talk just very briefly about the fundamentals of the ACO, Accountable Care Organization. What did the statute say, and then moving on to what more information is provided, more details that are provided by ultimately the final rule, and the fact of how it has made things a little easier for those that want to be involved or even want to form an ACO. We'll talk a bit about the application process because, as I've already alluded to, it is upon us. And those that are interested in it need to move on it, and you need to get an idea of what's in store for you if you're not already familiar with it. We'll talk a bit about this pioneer process, and specifically what were some of the factors that helped the CMS decide which of the applicants were going to be these pioneers, which are those that are kind of seen to be entities that seem to be kind of further along in the process. They're not new, they have a lot of experience and may be very much able to step right in terms of acting in this capacity as ACOs. And kind of understanding how those factors might be apropos to someone who's now just going to go for basic ACO status, not a pioneer, but going for the basic category, the basic label. We'll talk kind of along those lines of giving those hints of what applicants might want to do, and also kind of thinking about from a startup position, what are the things you're going to have in place, and even if you're beyond just startup, the issues that you may be facing. Or if you're going to be joining an ACO that's already in formation, some of the issues you may face as well. So that's our very lengthy agenda, and we're going to try to get into it right this moment.
Supercoder is the fastest growing online reference tool with more than 25,000 subscribers. Call 866-228-9252 to get a free product demo or sign up at supercoder.com for a 7-day free trial.